The story you're about to hear is a story of loss, but also of survival and unwavering faith. The Walker family story is one of resilience, faith, and hope. After losing their home and cherished memories in a devastating fire, Marvie and Tawana Walker share their journey of overcoming hardship through unwavering faith in God, from narrowly escaping danger to finding strength in family and community. They highlight the importance of trusting God's process, staying faithful, and choosing positivity in the face of adversity. They remind us to look for sunshine even in the darkest times. Here is their story.
I think the biggest thing for me was the loss of my parents' memories, because a lot of the things that we had in our house were that came from my parents' house. So it was things that when I was a little girl. So that was the biggest thing for me. That I realized, like, they're pictures that can never be replaced, or just things that they had given me that can never be replaced. That was the biggest thing for me.
I had a picture of my. Oh, sorry. I had a picture of my mother and my great grandmother, and to not see that no more. But compared to the everybody survived, it overseed everything. It was like the only thing my baby hurt her knee, and my baby boy hurt his foot. His foot got burned. But to survive after the effect of when we went back in and saw how everything was, how it took effect, it was scary. We was in our rooms not knowing, and everything took effect. How it went so quickly. The blaze that we could have died. Everybody wouldn't have survived that the way it looked. But to know that we survived and to see the babies laughing and not knowing that it took effect in their mind, that like really what happened, it's amazing. And then my baby, I mean, it's God. The blessings of the whole thing that everybody survived that. And you see so many stories that people did survive. It's only material. And the memories will always be in my head. But my wife, the legacy of her family, her uncles, and her father. What was the thing he was in?
The Masons.
The Masons, and
Yeah.
the parties, and to see all those pictures was on the wall because we just came from a family reunion, and she had to bring pictures.
And so they were all just like sitting in the living room. And so all of those are gone. And that's probably the hardest part for me. We had just gotten back from a family reunion that Sunday. It was about 1, 2 o'clock. And so my husband was in his room watching TV. I was upstairs laying down, and my oldest son was in his room getting ready to go because he usually goes to hang out with his friends Sundays about 5 o'clock. And he told me, he said, I'm going to leave about 5. And my other son and his fiance, and they were downstairs cleaning up in their room. And I heard my grandson come upstairs, the 5-year-old, and he told my son, he was like, Uncle John, Caden set a fire. I don't think it registered in my head what he was saying. Like, I knew what he was saying, but it wasn't registering. My son went downstairs, and I heard him yell. And then that's when I got up and I looked out my window and I just saw flames. Like at that point, it wasn't a little fire; it was just flames. I remember running downstairs. I know I didn't go through the room with the fire, but by the time I got downstairs and we were all like going out the front door, I mean, it was just black smoke everywhere. The fact that my grandson was smart enough to know to come upstairs and tell somebody that there was a fire, because they could have stayed downstairs and been engulfed in the fire. But he was smart enough to know to come upstairs and tell someone. And at that point, we all just were frantic. He had on slippers. My other son, like didn't have on any shoes, and one had on a sock, and it was just chaos. The kids just had on like shorts or a pamper. It was just chaos. So when we migrated from New York, we didn't know a soul. I didn't have my phone, and I knew I needed to get my grandkids somewhere and like try and wrap my head around it. And then I realized I had my phone on my watch. And so I was able to call my sister, which is my sister in Christ, love her to death. I was able to call Monique. We could send the kids to her. Our next door neighbor, who we have never spoken to, came over and they were helpful. They took the grandkids to Monique's house. I called my other friend, Tina. She didn't answer her phone. So I kind of text her the word fire. And she called me. She's like, "What are you talking about?" Another neighbor came down and let me use her phone. And it was just people just that we had never spoken to just were so helpful. Once Tina got there, she called Pastor, and
First Lady.
Pastor and First Lady
God.
came, and Tika and Kenneth, and Mitzi and her husband, Alicia, Dawn. We had the Brooks. They came, and it was just
Domino effect. I mean, everybody showed up.
just to have that,
They
knowing
had that
that
kind of
we don't
support.
have like biological family here, just to have those people that embraced us and made us feel like we have family. I mean, I always say, I have sisters in Christ, but it was just so much more impactful.
The love that we got from the church and our pastor and our first, it's amazing. It felt so good. And then to see that and everybody giving us hugs, and I'm saying, I'm smoking, don't worry about that. They're giving me a hug, giving my baby a hug. And it's the love and from God that to be a part of that and knowing that God send these people to us, not that the people to us, that knowing that being a part of a church that has so much love with the prayer and the teaching, pastor. Now, to let you know, I have always felt shady when it comes to like churches, but when God sent me pastor, oh my God. First Lady, oh my God, everything changed. Everything changed. For years, my baby was going to church, and I was getting the babies ready, and she was going to church, but I didn't feel that love. Never felt that love until I met Pastor and First Lady. It's amazing to have that,
It is.
especially at my age. And he was the man that baptized me, that changed my life completely. And I got baptized with my sons. So that's even more amazing. But she already got baptized. So.
And I mean, even in the midst of knowing that I had lost so much stuff, or we had lost so much stuff, we were able to take counsel in the fact that we had people surrounding us and praying for us. And I mean, we stood in the driveway and made us like we held hands and we prayed. We thanked God because it could have been so much worse. It I could have lost my grandchildren. I mean, I could have lost my kids and even my oldest son, because in the midst of what happened, it was so much chaos and everybody was in survival mode. And then once we got out of survival mode and I had to check on my children, and my oldest son, he's very quiet, his thing was he broke down because he was like, suppose I would have gone out when I was supposed to go out and they wouldn't have come to tell me and they could have died. So just the whole surrealness of what could have happened versus what happened makes me grateful.
And my baby, my middle child, my son, he wanted to go back in, and I had to grab him. It's like, you have babies. You can't put that out. Not a fire, man. We're gonna survive. Your life is more important than this house. So to grab him and knowing I was in pain that we was gonna lose everything, but we didn't. We still had us as a family. We still had God being there for us, that nothing else mattered. The house didn't matter. The kids knowing that they what happened, when I see them every day and they laughing and everything, that is such a blessing.
That's our faith. We have been
our
through so much. We've seen each other go through so much. When we first moved, well, before we even moved, when we first came down here for me to interview for a job, he literally had a stroke.
Yeah.
And so he was in the hospital for a week, but we were able to push through it. Like, he came out of it. Like, where people, suffered through strokes, he walked out of the hospital. Yes, he had a little weakness, but he was able to push past that. He was there with me when my parents died less than 3 months apart. And I mean, I watched them take their last breath. So we've been through that. We have a daughter who suffers with mental health, and we've seen her be on the brink of, losing her life. God is faithful. At the end of it all, he is faithful. I feel like if he has pulled me through that stuff, he'll pull me through this.
Yes.
I was raised as an only child. So when I lost my parents, even my cousins, they're like, we thought you was gonna lose your mind, because I was always that close to my dad. But I didn't lose my mind. God kept me. So I had to learn to get my joy back, but I always had peace. And no matter what you go through, there's a reason to give praise. So when I look at my husband, when he first had the stroke, and the support we had at the hospital, that gave me peace, that I knew, okay, this is a good move. When my parents died, peace, because they're no longer suffering. And even with the house, I had to look for what the good in this was, but I realized, I know I have some upcoming surgeries, and the last time I had surgery, I was in a big old house, and I was stuck upstairs in my room. I couldn't get around because of the stairs. Well, where we're staying at now, no stairs. This is perfect. I can get around. I'm not going to be isolated. So God is ever faithful. And if you look for the sunshine, you will find it. It doesn't matter what you go through. You will find the sunshine if you look for it. I told someone the other day, one of my clients, I said, change your output and it will change your outlook. And when I say that, is what you put out there. If you always put negativity out there, that's how it's gonna look. But if you can put joy and peace and happiness out there, that's what it's gonna look like. And so I think that's what we have been doing. We have our days where it's like, okay, it's tight up in here compared to where we lived, and it's like, oh, we got a whole lot to replace. But at the end of the day, we found a place to live. I mean,
Antigua?
Yeah, Antigua helped us find a place to live.
And God.
I mean, and we've been having blessings after blessing after blessing. And our church, Tabernacle, is it's a great church to be in. I mean, and I know people say, oh, well, my church is good. My church.
No.
It's not. You don't just get worship. You don't just get fed. It's a family. And that's honestly, when we started looking for a church home, that's what I needed. Because in New York, the church I went to, that's where my parents got married. That's where I was born, baptized, christened. That's where we got married. My kids were dedicated to the Lord. That was my family. Because again, growing up by yourself, that was my family. So I needed a place that I was going to have a family. And when I tell you that's what I have here at Tabernacle, it's a family.
Yeah.
And you can't.
It will go hard for you.
You can't find that everywhere. Some places have good music. Some places has they have, the preacher's the best preacher. But here at Tabernacle, you have it all. It's almost like going to a 5-star restaurant. You got your appetizer, you got your main meal, and then you got your dessert. So, is any church perfect? No. There's no perfect people. But if you want to look for as close to perfect, it's Tabernacle.
Yeah.
Because they're going to love on you. Our pastor loves his people. and he is sincere. And
First lady too.
and yes, and our first lady, people are like, oh, well, your first lady is so reserved. She's very reserved, but she has a heart of gold.
Yeah.
And she will give, and she'll laugh with you and joke with you. And I love their relationship because they complement each other. They feed off of each other. She makes him a little bit more serious, and he brings out a little bit more laughter in her. And I mean, just to see that's what we should all want in our relationships and our marriages.
Trust the path. Believe in God. Believe in Jesus. And yeah, take that pain away. And that's what you need to do. To take that pain away and to believe that everything is going to happen when it happens. But you just have to be patient. What about you, babe?
I think mine is stay faithful, stay the course. Because it's easy, like you said, to wallow in pity and woe is me, woe is me. But if you stay faithful to God, because I remember that Monday, all I kept saying is, if I could just make it to church, if I can just make it to church. I didn't care what I had to wear. I didn't care what I looked like. I just wanted to be at church on Sunday. And if you stay faithful to God, he is faithful to you. I've seen it, I know it, and I believe it. So that would be my encouragement. Stay faithful. No matter what it looks like with your natural eye, believe God, trust him, and stay faithful.